Some people love this gun. Some people hate it. I don't know yet. Have you shot one?
Not the 43. We did the 42.
The Glock 43. This is relatively the same size as the Glock 42. I suspect that this one will have considerably more recoil than the Glock 42 in 380. A few of the things that I do like about this, Jeff, are the fact that it's close in size also to the Glock 26. But if you look, there are no finger grooves here. I like that a lot. I like the flat front. This gun, in my opinion, should have come with 3 magazines like the new Gen 4s, but it came with 2 6-round, somewhat single stack magazines. These aren't necessarily true single stacks. They're somewhat staggered, but it's still a very slim package that you have here. And
of course, with the box, you get the goofy loading tool that I have never used.
I've used them, they work.
And
not with this, but
the extra magazine has a little finger extension on the bottom. You know, Terry mentioned something about this gun as far as you know, this is supposed to be a Gen 4 series Glock, and with other Gen 4 series Glocks you get 3 magazines. Well, that's not all you get. You also get interchangeable back straps, a series of standard contour, medium, and large, and then the beaver tail medium and large.
Now in the Gen 4 guns, I like the interchangeable back straps because I prefer a slightly fatter grip in this area of my hand, and I like a bigger beaver tail.
And well, with this gun, I don't see how it's a Gen 4 necessarily if it doesn't have those back straps I could add to it, because with different hand sizes, you know, Terry and I have got larger hands, and you know, it's just one of those things that whoops, no bromance. But
so he says.
Yeah, I really think that the gun itself could be enhanced by having the availability of the back straps like you do with other Gen 4s. You know, so I mean, am I kind of poo-pooing it right away? Sure, because I expect more from Glock, and I really expected more from this, but I've not fired it, so I'm going to give it that. After I fire it, my opinion may totally change.
So would you consider this to fit into the pocket pistol category?
I don't think any gun fits in the pocket pistol category, because I would not carry a gun in my pocket. I carry guns in holsters. You know, that's another topic altogether. We won't get into that. If there's something that makes me mad, it's irresponsible gun carrying. Pocket holstering, like I said, we're not going to get into that.
We can get into that for another video.
Oh yeah. But sure, it could fit in a pocket with a pocket holster, maybe, but it's still kind of big. It's not as small as the 42. It's really, I mean, not much difference in size in a Smith & Wesson Shield or a XDS, you know, Springfield XDS, or any of those guns in that category.
I feel that it's very comparable to the Shield.
Yeah. You know, the only difference between this gun and the Glock 26 is the finger grooves on the front and the width of the entire gun. This is quite a bit more slimline gun than what the 26 is, because it follows the same contour as the rest of the Glock series of, you know, 19 and 17 and so on. Same thickness on the 26, but they have, you know, really slimmed that gun down quite a bit.
I've seen and heard a lot of people say that this gun is actually very late to market and is kind of an answer to a problem that didn't exist.
Well, everyone was wanting this gun when the 42 came out. Everyone's like saying, why in the heck are you bringing a 380 to the market when the market was saturated with 380s? They wanted a 9mm sub compact Glock. And, you know, so, you know, this came out probably 2-3 years too late. Compared to other guns, you know, other manufacturers that answered the call. There's more people carrying guns now than ever before, and Hopefully, most of them are carrying concealed, but that's another issue for another time. But, it's a, I don't
You
know.
mean you don't want to open carry a rifle into Walmart?
Oh yeah, man, that's a cool deal. The cool idea. Yeah. No. No. Yeah. No. That's the turd in the punch bowl effect, by the way. But that's besides the point. But let's get it loaded up, and we've got a Glock 19 over here to kind of compare the size to. Of course, a better size comparison would be the 26, but if you're looking for something that would maybe be a backup, compared to your main carry 19, then that's what the comparison that I want to make. So let's put some rounds through it, and we'll see if I like it, or if you like it, or we don't. All right, we're gonna get some first impressions here. Gonna put a round in it and see what it does. I'm going to try shooting this with the, if I can find it, the magazine with the finger extension on it. Using Federal 115 grain, just plain ball ammunition, and I already got 2 rounds on the dummy that were just pulling the gun up and shooting, and I'm going to see if I can hit point of aim with the gun. Of course, I'm going to start out just aiming for the center mass, right in the center of the chest, actually. Low and left. Got to find some finger placement on this gun. I'm still shooting that way. Let's try something else. That's better. Okay. Yeah, we're shooting. All right. Last 3 were practically in the same tiny little group. I had to put the tip of my finger on this to get this to shoot. It's got a really reduced overall length of pull compared to what I'm used to. I didn't have to make those adjustments with the Smith & Wesson Shield or a few other guns that I've fired like this. This one I definitely had to make a conscious movement and just put the trigger on the very tip of my finger. After I did that, the gun shot exactly where I pointed it. So, trigger wise, that'd be my only complaint about it. The gun functions so far, but we'll keep on going.
Jeff, do you want to point out your shots on the dummy?
That's my last 3 shots right here, and my other shots that I fired were pretty much here.
And we're shooting from 7 yards.
Actually, right here. These are the 2 rounds that were on the target before. These are the first 3. Those are my last 3. After moving my finger on the trigger, I put them here.
I already don't really care for shooting with only 2 fingers on the grip. It's just a personal preference, but I'm going to use the short magazine first. Not too bad of a group. Just a little bit left of center, left of where I was aiming. Now for the extended magazine. Let's go take a look at where I hit. As you can see, again, as Jeff spoke about, adjusting the finger helped to bring those over to the right a little bit. And yeah, that is a little bit different on the trigger pull.
Well, getting used to it, I mean, it makes you pull to the left. I mean, it literally, a right-handed shooter is going to pull that gun, no matter if you're a Glock shooter or not, you're going to pull that gun to the left. After putting just that fingertip on, you started bringing your shots over. I could tell because I was looking at you shooting. And you started kind of a little faster trigger pull, and that even helps you bring these over, but you were straying a little bit, but you were still staying right rather than going left. It's a acquired taste as far as the trigger pull.
I think maybe we should get a couple shots of us just emptying the mags into them pretty quick.
Oh yeah, that would work. And just a rapid fire string. I kept them all pretty much center of mass and just rose with the recoil. You know, just looking at the dummy, I mean, I could have had several lethal, shots in a just, fast fire, session or shooting. And I'll just pretty much come up here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I just pretty much just brought it up and just started shooting. Now it's Terry's turn.
My string kind of went more straight up and slightly to the left a little bit here. And as you can see, I hit in the right pectoral a couple times and still had all my shots on target. So what are we going to do now?
Okay, I think we're going to have a little friendly competition. We're going to take 3 shots each with the extended magazine and call our shot as far as where we're going to aim and see who can get the tightest 3-shot group.
Well, we know that Jeff's normally the tightest.
Well, hold on. But it's just friendly competition. And loser has to pack everything up and walk all the way. No. It ain't gonna happen. But anyhow, it's just something fun. 3 shots on the target, see if we can get a tight group. Doesn't matter where it is on the target, but it has to be where we call it. And, well,
and it's got to be tight.
Got to be tight. So let's see what we can do. For my 3 shots, I think I'm just going to aim for the throat, just right there. And hey, there's a dragonfly on top of the target.
Take an extra shot and shoot it off if you can.
No.
Come on, let's see it.
No. We have to be
we don't
environmentally
needlessly kill
responsible. But I'll tell you this, I'm going to shake him off of it. In the throat, 3 shots. Dragonfly, better get the heck out of the way. That was not in the throat. But I'll aim for that shot. Holy cow, Terry, you're screwed. I just put that one right smack dab in that same shot. Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Well, so far, my 3 shots, although didn't end up here.
See, I think that automatically disqualifies you since you called the throat.
I have it on here that you said the tightest group. Okay.
Well, let's go look at it.
All right. I was aiming here, and I hit my first shot there. Put my second shot
Man, look at that.
to that one, and then hit here. So I'm still getting used to this trigger, but by the second, shot that I made, I definitely, got used to it. It's just that first trigger pull for me for this gun. I mean, there are enhancements for this on the market already, but it's capable of shooting in the same place. I'll put it that way.
We have a 3.5 pound ghost connector we're going to put in this as well. Maybe not in this video, but in a future install video.
Yeah, we're going to put another connector inside this to help with that trigger pull. But Terry, it's your turn.
Yeah, I'm not going to make that, but I'll at least hit what I say that I'm going to hit.
Okay, Terry, that's fine. Pretend you want to hit here, but tell me you're going to hit here.
I'll aim to the right if I have to. I'm going to aim for the right below the sternum. Wow.
Well, you hit below the sternum.
Yeah, I hit below the sternum, all right.
Here we go, Terry.
That last one was a little wild.
Show us those shots.
All right. First one was here. I actually started stringing a little left for some reason.
Well,
and I even
I'll
put a little more finger on the trigger to get it over. And
that trigger, tell me, is that trigger an acquired taste or not?
It's hard for me to tell. I mean, it really is. It doesn't feel terrible to me. It's a little stiff maybe, but I think that a different connector in here, I think that would clean that right up.
Well, I didn't find the trigger stiff as much as it was stagey. I kind of got it to a certain point where I would think it would start to break over, and it kind of sponges over into a point where it finally lets go. I had to
it's
really
not necessarily
control
crisp.
That. Huh?
It's not necessarily crisp.
No. So, oh well.
Yeah, either way, he's hurt.
Yeah, oh heck yeah. He took out a lung and, well, he's dead. Gone. Fight another day.
Yeah. Well, here the 43 is next to the Glock 19 that Jeff normally carries every day.
And as you can see, you've got a big difference in not even overall length, but of course in height also. Let's put it straight down, look over top of it there, Terry. There to there. But here's a huge difference, is the width of the two guns.
And the 19 is the same width as the 26.
That's correct. Now, one thing that I'll point out is another thing that I would do besides changing maybe this connector in this gun to something that's maybe going to enhance accuracy and trigger pull that's the sights. I am not a proponent of the standard Glock sights, that gold post rear. The front dot's fine, but the gold post rear is just something that just takes your attention away from that front sight. And they're plastic. So the first modification that I'd say most every Glock owner does is change the sights first. So that'd be something that I would greatly.
And tell us a little bit about the sights that you have on this 19 here.
Well, these are Ameriglow Ken Hackathorn sights. So you have just a orange or red, whatever, outlined front green tritium insert. So you have a steel front sight with a tritium insert with an orange ring around it. And the rear is serrated, and there is no dots, no tritium, no anything. It's just a wide notch to find your front sight Nothing's going to reflect on the back. I only put my front sight on my target, and that's it.
You mentioned that the back of the sight is serrated. What is the purpose of that?
It's so you don't get any glare from light from behind the gun. As you can see, it's in the sunlight, and you don't see glare. You know, there's a little bit of discoloration from me carrying the gun and so on, but as far as getting any glare and direct sunlight behind you, you don't. So it still doesn't take your eye off the front sight. You know, it's just going to be there and helps you align to your front sight. I've used these, you know, extensively, and I have put several sets of these on guns for friends and customers of mine, and they're just really unparalleled as far as a high visibility sight. I really like them quite a bit. That would be something I would think about for this gun. They do make them also at Trijicon after the Hackathorn sight came out, named after Ken Hackathorn, a very renowned trainer. Ameriglow has that first, but now Trijicon has got a set in the HD line that has got an orange outline front with a green tritium insert, but they incorporate a rear tritium you know, system with 2 dots in the back. They still do a 3-dot system, which, you know, I mean, I guess in some realms that's okay. I just really like the front. I don't really need that on the rear. But, you know, still being in the comparison of the two, I mean, they still look like Glocks. I mean, there's no mistake that that's a Glock. As you can see, because where they did the slimming process, right here, where the trigger bar comes back, they have a pronounced, you know, edge right there, a bump, where they had to make room for the inner mechanism so they could retain the standard Glock type action. And they've already got a beaver tail kind of made into it, which, you know, I guess would allude to the fact they kind of learned something from the beaver tail backstraps that come with the standard Gen 4 set. But I really still wish they would have, you know, put other backstrap inserts with this gun. And of course, I still like the Gen 3. I am not really a big fan of finger grooves and so on, but this grip really does agree with me. I have done some other enhancements with this gun as far as the connector and spring kit and so on, but you know, this gun shoots for me, and I trust it enough to carry it every single day. I'd say, you know, seeing the way this gun shoots, I know the gun can shoot. I just would want to maybe make some of the same enhancements that I've done with my everyday carry on the Glock 43. I just really think that would help enhance the gun. I think the accuracy and everything is there with the gun. I can see that. It's just with the grip that's been abbreviated, and it's a bit thin for me, I would want to do some of the things I've done to my 19 to this gun to kind of, like I say, enhance the shooting pleasure, but then also my hit ability.
So I actually like shooting that gun. I like shooting the 43. It's comfortable, surprisingly, in my hand for as small as it is. And you know, I think maybe we should take a look at doing some of those modifications that you're talking about.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have put some connectors and stuff in, you know, some 43s for some other people and so on. You know, and they have bragged that it has helped them shoot better with the gun. The recoil wasn't as snappy as what I thought it would be.
It was not near as snappy as what I expected it to be.
I had so many people tell me that this gun was incredibly snappy
and uncomfortable to shoot.
And truthfully, I thought that the gun was more comfortable to shoot than the 42.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree.
The 42 wasn't bad. I mean, it really wasn't, but I think I could shoot this gun quite a bit. And so, I mean,
I wouldn't have a problem coming out here and running a couple hundred rounds through it.
No, but I would probably want to before I did that. Just seeing the way that it shoots, just from where we've been out here, I would probably want to do some of the modifications before I really wanted, you know, to put a lot of rounds through it. just to give it a good chance. I'd like the magazine release on it. It's a wider Gen 4 type of magazine release. The slide stops in the standard place it should be for a Glock. All those things. The texturing, which is the Gen 4 texturing, it's positive. It wasn't too gritty, it wasn't too aggressive, didn't tear my hands up. So I mean, I like the gun. I like the gun quite a bit, really. It's just I think it could use some enhancements. We'll just say that.
Well, maybe we can make some install videos or something for different enhancements on this gun, and get it back out here and test each one of them.
Absolutely.
All right. See you guys on the range.
See ya.